Today we are going to have a seminar on Middle East education and job fair 2020. And I want to thank a few people to make this even possible. And these are my sweet panelists, the technical team, Berkeleyme Middle East Holding in Middle East, Berkeleyme Global in UK, Berkeley, California in US, and training and consultancy divisions. They really work hard to bring all this content and the people on board so they can explain all this beautiful information to the candidates. So now let's go to the next panel and let's see who is in our panel for the day. I can see Ankur is there, Usman is joining, and I think Khushbu is also joining for the day. So this panel is focusing on a very most demanded qualification in any financial city, where you have Dubai International Financial Center, you have ADGM, you have Riyadh Capital Authority in Saudi Arabia. So all financial capitals are always looking for a qualification called Chartered Financial Analyst. So we invite 3 qualified financial analysts on board as a panelist so they can enlighten everyone who's listening that what CFA is, what it is for, who should do this qualification, and what is the course content. And the most experience is commitment, motivation, how to handle the stress, how to keep yourself motivated for a qualification which takes 2.5 years to finish. So let me first introduce with the panelists. So I will first go to Ankur. Ankur, can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Hello, hi, Dr. Musa. Thanks a lot for inviting me. And thanks everyone who is watching, and hello Mohammed and Khushbu. So as Dr. Musa said, my name is Ankur Jain. I have a professional experience of more than 11 years working in various roles. Started with engineering, then moved to consulting, and now currently I'm working as a senior internal auditor in one of the government company in UAE. In terms of education, again, I started with my engineering, and then post-engineering, I did MBA. And in terms of professional qualification, I am a certified CIA and a CFA charter. So that's pretty much brief about me. Anything?
I think that's a very brilliant introduction. I am really inspired from your multi-talent and multi-discipline qualifications, because generally we saw that if you are from accountancy, so you end up in finance. So you are a CA, you do CFA, so you feel yourself very comprehensive. But engineering, going in internal audit, doing a certified internal auditing qualification, then taking a CFA qualification is a very unique combination, and I can see that you are a very rare talent. So let's move to Usman. Usman, can you please, thank you very much again joining us, because you were in the CAIA panel also. So if you can quickly introduce yourself from CFA point of view now.
Yes, my pleasure, Dr. Musa. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Mohammed Usman. I am CFA and CAIA charter holder. Been in the business for about 7 years now. I did my CFA in 2013, and then I practiced, got my charter in 2016, beginning of 2016. And then I went for CAIA last year, and thanks to Dr. Musa, and this was something that I'm thankful to him, because CAIA is a specialization. But in this panel, of course, we'll be talking about CFA.
CFA
so I'd love to see what other panelists have to say.
That's great. So let me go ahead with Khushbu. Khushbu, can you please introduce yourself?
Thank you, Dr. Musa. Thank you, Ankur and Usman. So here for CFA, I'm the most recent qualified CFA here, and I've been in this industry for almost 5 years. My journey started with leading German bank in India, and now I'm here in Dubai, and I'm associated with Berkeley as their vice president. And it's been a great experience so far, and it's such a insightful session today, and I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, that's great. We are equally delighted to see all of you. So we need a volunteer to start. Who is going to take up the lead to explain people what is CFA?
Yeah, so let me take the lead. I'll explain the bit and then it will be taken over by Mohammed and then Khushbu. So let me share my screen.
Please go ahead.
Just a minute. So is my screen visible? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so I'll start with the introduction of CFA. What is CFA? Who requires CFA? Who is it for? And how is the exam structure? So let me move to the CFA program. So what is CFA? And then what is actually a financial analysis? Or why do we need a separate program for financial analysis? So first is about financial analysis. Any investment decision, even in your personal life that you take in terms of investing, in terms of making a portfolio, is a financial analysis only. And to put all those tools and tackles together and to put them in a structured way is this program is structured for. So CFA Institute is the governing body which provides the certified or chartered financial analyst certificate. It's an American institute, and the curriculum is basically divided into 4 sections. So first is predominantly into ethics and professional standard. Second is about the tools and inputs for the investment valuation management. The third part is about the asset valuation, and then the fourth and the important part is about the portfolio management. Now, what is the eligibility? Eligibility is basically anyone who is holding a bachelor's degree, 4 years or 3 years equivalent, and so that person or anyone who is even in the final year of their bachelor program can also write or appear for the CFA exam. The important thing is to start early and to because the CFA exam or the passing CFA exam requires a lot of effort. So the important thing is to start early, and if you are sure about that you want to enter into investment or the portfolio management industry, this is the gold standard, and then you should go for it. Now, who should take this program? So again, predominantly, this is a gold standard for investment and portfolio managers. However, anyone who is in the finance profession, this is a highly valued certificate. So in terms of people who have the CFA charter or who are CFA charter holder, these are the predominant occupations who are the CFA charter holder. So it starts with CEO definitely, and then you have the chief investment officer, equity analyst, fixed income analyst, then portfolio manager, portfolio strategist, investment counselor. But overall, if you see, the theme is more on the investment and the portfolio management side of it. Then again, let's move to what the program structure is like. So again, the CFA program is divided into three levels. I'll cover the first level, and then Mohammed and then Khushbu will take on the subsequent level. But the beauty of the program is that if you see the topic area, it is divided into 10 areas, and then it is across all 3 levels. These 3 areas are built upon. So level 1 is the foundation, level 2 builds on the foundation of level 1, and then level 3 builds on the foundation of level 3. And if you see the weightage also, it varies. So in level 1, it tests you on all those things. Level 2 is more on the equity and the fixed income or the asset management side of it. And level 3 then moves and progresses into the portfolio management side of it. But one of the most important topic and weighted area is towards the ethics and the professional standard. So if you see, it is tested in all 3 levels, and it is heavily tested because this is one of the area wherein a lot of emphasis is given into. So yeah, this is pretty much about it. In terms of level 1, I can give the weightage. It's already there on the slide, but I can quickly cover what areas are covered into, or what are the broad areas wherein all these topic area dwell into. So ethics and professional standard is basically again more on the ethics side, and the professional standard about what needs to be done, how to take decision when you are facing the ethical dilemma or moral dilemma, and what is the correct practice. So this talks about the various scenarios wherein how you are supposed to act and how you are supposed to maintain the integrity of the financial profession. Then the quantitative method, it talks about the time value of money. Again, as an engineer, all these things were really new to me and very fascinating in terms of, taking decision. So if you want to take any decision of, an investment, whether you want to do an investment or not, quantitative method is one of the basic criteria wherein you have the time value of money, you have the research and all. So that talks about the investment, what methods you will use to make an investment. Then comes the economics. It talks about the microeconomics and the macroeconomics. Again, these are further. So microeconomics is more on the company level. Macroeconomics is what is happening all over the world, and how to evaluate, how to identify, how to assess indicators, whether these are favorable indicators or not so favorable indicators. Then it goes about, then the next topic is on the financial reporting analysis. It talks about the jargons of financial reporting, which is again geared towards having a knowledge of financial accounting, but it talks a lot more about the reporting and analysis part of it. And then goes with the corporate finance. Corporate finance is again talking about where to invest, to what area to look into, how to calculate your cost of capital and everything. Equity investment is again your stock valuation. The prime example may be whether Apple stock price is correct or not. Is it, do you buy this thing or do you not buy this thing? So this talks about all these fundamentals of valuing the equity. Then goes with the fixed income, wherein the fixed income is all your bond holders and all, what kind of a credit rating is there, what kind of a investment that you should look into, is interest rate favorable for you, should you make fixed income, should you make a fixed income investment, or should you exit from the fixed income statement. Then it goes to the hedging strategies, wherein you have the derivative investments, which talks about all your futures options and swaps and all these kind of derivative strategies or the hedging strategies. And then you have the alternative investment, which talks about, as Mohammed has already explained before, talks about a brief of the alternative investment, such as private equity, venture capital, real estate management and all. And the first part also briefly talks about the portfolio management and the wealth management, wherein you see how you construct a portfolio, what is the risk of the portfolio, what is the expected return, and then based on that you take you construct your portfolio and take the portfolio or the adjust your portfolio. So this is brief about level 1, and now I'll pass on to Mohammed to explain the level 2 curriculum.
It was an excellent explanation of all the topic areas, and you have nicely summed up each and every topic area. So I'm not going to go again about what each topic area is. So I'll talk more from the perspective of its context in level 2 of the CFA program. So in CFA level 2 program, I personally think, and I think this is a view which is probably held by a majority of the people who have taken CFA or who know CFA program. CFA level 2 is the pinnacle of CFA program, if you say that. This is something which defines CFA. Like, this is, I personally believe, again, there could be disagreements, but I personally feel this is something, you know, what the essence of CFA is. You know, if you have CFA level 2, if you know the material in CFA level 2, you are pretty much, you know, ready to take on an analyst job and, you know, do really well. Pretty advanced. Level 1 is more on the introductory, you know, level. It walks you through what all these different topic areas, different asset classes are, and what is the, you know, markets, how the markets function, and you know, the slightly less advanced level. But CFA level 2 actually takes you through the nitty-gritty of accounting, the currencies, the derivatives. The quants is pretty advanced in level 2 as compared to level 1. So level 2 is that's why you know, people who write CFA exams, they consider level 2 be the hardest exams. But then that varies, you know, depending on what your skill and what your strengths really are. So for me personally, I really enjoyed level 2, and I found level 3 to be slightly more challenging, because I'm kind of person who is more apt with the quantitative stuff more than the qualitative stuff, which is heavily weighted in CFA level 3 exams. So again, CFA level 2 builds on, as Ankur said, on level 1. Some areas have more weightage, as some areas have less weightage in CFA level 2 than in CFA level 1. But essentially, it is the same, you know, mix of topic areas which go into much more depth than what we see in level 1. One of the things which makes CFA level 2 hard is the you know, the range of weightage given to each area. So it's more unpredictable that which area will get what weightage. So basically, you cannot really take any area, any topic lightly. You have to really prepare well, because you don't know whether it will be 5% or 15%. Some areas have a range of between 5 to 15%. So you can't really leave it on luck. So this is one of the things which makes it harder, other than the obviously the qualitatively harder stuff itself. Now, another thing which is different in level 2 is the exam format. In CFA level 1, you have MCQs, 240 questions over 6 hours period. You have to, so it gives you about 1.5 minutes per MCQ. In level 2, the time given for each MCQ is double, but you know, that's just a mirage, because the amount of information that you're given in level 2 to answer that question is you know, much more. Plus, it's more. It's not like straightforward. You have to really. So basically, how the exam is structured is, you have a vignette. They call that vignette, or a case study, maybe 1 to 2 pages, and then you have 6 questions following that case studies. So you have to find solution. You have to find information from that case study and answer those 6 questions. So pretty advanced level. But again, I think it's all about commitment. There are hard things for people who are committed, and they can achieve. There's nothing that you cannot. I know when I was writing CFA level 1, I had candidates from CFA level 2, and they used to scare us, you know, of the difficulty level of CFA level 2. But when I actually started preparing for it, but I mean, if you like investment, obviously that's why, you know, somebody would be interested in learning about the CFA program. Naturally, they are interested in investment. But if you're interested, then believe me, CFA level 2 is really fun. It takes your understanding and your competence level to really, you know, high level, advanced level. So I think that's pretty much it. The fee structure and all that stuff is standard across all 3 levels. You have to pay enrollment fee, which is one-time fee. You pay that in level 1, and then level 2 and 3 is just the exam fee. In terms of preparation, I think you really need some guidance. You need preparation. There are people who do it on a self-study basis, but that's a bit, I mean, I wouldn't recommend to somebody who is working and doing CFA alongside. So a bit of advice and bit of guidance from people who have done it. And obviously, Berkeley Middle East is one such professional institution which can really help those who are interested in getting their three letters next to their name. So that's all from me. I would pass on the presentation to Khushbu now. She would walk everybody through CF level 3. Thank you.
So if Khushbu is unable to connect, we can move back to Ankur and Usman. So, and let's continue our discussion. So, Ankur, what you feel that challenges that you face during CFA preparation, exams, time management, stress management, commitment, durability, all these points, how you handle when you were a student?
Yeah, so as Mohammed said or Usman said that it's better to take help from others, especially when you are working. So I did CFA, or I started CFA when I was working. So again, I took help from my peer and my friends who were preparing for CFA exam. But in terms of the preparation and in terms of CFA exam in general, I believe all these US certification test you more on the application and the concept. So if you can understand the concept well, if you can apply those, if you can practice them well, that is the very important thing that is required for each of the exam. Because if you see, even in the curriculum, there are 5 thick books basically, and then a lot of material to cover. But at the same time, it's more about the application of concept, not in terms of testing you on the memorization of the formula, or maybe memorization of a text or a definition per se. So again, it's more on the application side. It's more about your understanding. It's more about how you can apply those concepts. So this is one thing that stands out with respect to most of the USA certification, and especially for CFA curriculum per se. And the second part would be again to practice a lot. So again, you have a lot of concepts. If you practice them more and more, you get used to apply those concepts well in exam, because one of the thing is you are also running against the time, and then you have to maintain or manage your time well. So again, attempting 120 questions in 180 odd minutes, or maybe again attempting 60 caselets questions in 180 minutes require you to be very decisive about what concept you need to apply, and then what is the correct way to apply those concepts, and then quickly do the calculations, and then come up with the answers. So I think these two are the very critical things that really helped me in order to clear the CFA exams.
Oh, great. Usman, what is your personal experience handling with all these 3 levels, stress, other stuff, please? What's your take? Your mic is mute. Can you unmute your mic, please?
Yeah, so I think I concur largely with what Ankur has just said. And I think everyone who has written CFA exams would agree with this, that, it's all about practice. So what happens with most of the students, even in my, the coaching career as well, I've seen candidates not, really crossing the line, is because they understand concepts. They are from finance industry. They understand all the theoretical part of it, and they just they failed to implement that in the exam setting because they did not have enough practice
Yeah,
under
you're
the
right.
belt.
Actually, I saw personally such kind of candidates who comes and say that, look, we are finance graduates, we are in banking since 10 years, and oh, we know everything, and when they go for an exam, they come up with a fail result. So your point is really valid, and I evident this couple of time in my own assessment.
I mean, I would like to share a personal story here. It's not related to CFA because CFA, I did not take any chances with all three levels, but with the CAIA most recently, last year, you know that I took the level 2 exam,
Yeah,
and
true.
the time was very short. I mean, I think a couple of months or 1.5 months, I really had
Yeah, I remember
totally
it
got to
was
prepare.
month of Ramadan, and before
Yeah.
Ramadan, I think, or something, you were really rush out of the time, and there was late
Yes.
sittings.
Yes, absolutely. And I took, I think, 1 week off from work to before the exam day. But then when I started taking mock exams, which was about 10 days before the exam, and
Mm.
I knew that I know these concepts, these alternatives, all these areas I knew well. And when I started taking mock exams, I was really got a surprise, and my score was in 50s, sometimes in 40s, and I knew that I'm short of practice. So I went online. I did my research. You know that one of the American, just like Schweizer, they make online very nice platform where you can do practice of different topic areas. You can select number of questions, the difficulty level. I bought that overnight for only maybe they give you access for 1 year, but I had only 1 week, so I bought that for about 1100 dirhams or 1200 dirhams. But that is the only decision that made a difference between a pass and fail. I could have easily
Mm.
failed that exam because I was short of practice because of my full-time job and the family commitments and everything. But then I remember working through lots and lots of problems and going to library and sitting there long hours and doing lots of practice. So I think practice is something that really makes a difference. This is where
That,
candidates take it lightly and then with unfortunate results.
mm. Let's move to Khushbu and ask the same question, and her presentation is still waiting for the audience. So, can we? So you missed the question, or should I ask the question again, Khushbu? I think Khushbu is still struggling with her internet. Maybe it's a bad luck for the audience that today we are unable to hear her. So let's move back and so Ankur, what you feel like if you are a CFA and you are not a CFA? Like there was a time when both of you, Osman, also like you were not CFA and now you are CFA charter holders. How it helped you in getting jobs, employability, and respect? Does it make difference? Please.
Yeah. So thank you, Dr. Musa. So I want to answer this question through two areas basically. One is in terms of the employability and in terms of the respect that you get because of the CFA charter designation associated with you. That is more on the professional side, but also on the personal side, wherein you then for especially for an engineer, wherein you then start understanding about the finance world, about how things move, about how to take financial decision, about how an economy is moving. So I want to answer this question based on these two areas. So first is before CFA or after CFA, definitely you get the respect. So definitely you get the respect in terms of it shows about the commitment that you have put in, and it is again a gold standard certificate, which is I think one of the most desired certificate in financial world. So definitely you get the respect by putting these 3 coveted letter after your name. However, again, on the personal side, I think it really helped me a lot because, again, as I said, I started, looking world differently. I started, understanding things differently. I started, putting questions differently and in a more intelligent way. And, taking all these things into consideration, and then and then seeing different areas that really helped me a lot in my professional career. So that would be a bit about how or what differences CFA has made in terms of the career.
Oh, that's great. So, Khushbu, before your line get distorted again, please continue with your presentation.
I'm so sorry for the connection. But yes, thank you, Dr. Musa, and thank you, Ankur and Usman. You have explained it really nicely about level 2 and level 1 course structure. So I'm here basically to explain our viewers today about CFA level 3. So as you all know, this is the last step to your journey to become chartered financial analyst, and it's a very important level in the entire course. So yeah, basically level 3 has a completely different structure as compared to other 2 levels. So in the first 2 levels, basically the institute is testing your technical skills, conceptual knowledge. But in level 3, it's more about managing portfolios, wealth planning, etc. So while the first 2 levels revolves around basic financial knowledge, investment valuation comprehension, and the application of these concepts, CFA level 3 at the same time focuses on portfolio management and wealth planning. Even the weightage for these 2 topics in the entire level 3 is almost 50%. So also, there are several other topics as well that are grouped in mainly 2 areas: ethical and professional standards and asset classes. So as Ankur said, like ethics and professional standard is very important in all the stages and all the levels. So even in level 3, it gets as much importance as to the structure which of the exam. Institute test write and explain when you're dealing with clients, when you're working uh,
I think Khushbu's experiences distortion in her internet. So we can see Ankur and Usman. Meanwhile, we can continue the discussions.
Dr. Musa.
Yeah, Usman, your response to the same question.
Sorry, what was the question again?
So, like we were discussing about that, did you feel any change in,
Oh, yes.
in employer attitude, in a people attitude, and before and after?
Okay. Well, I cannot really speak from employer's perspective, but then I can most certainly tell the difference before CFA and after CFA. As Ankur said, you start looking at world very differently. Even though I am a business graduate, I've studied investment and finance in my graduation degree, but the understanding that CFA brought to me, that was that there was no match. Like I really saw the difference even after reading the material of CFA level 1. I knew that this is something which is one of the best decisions. I thought this is one of the best decisions that I've taken, and I like the quants side of it, and I really like the finance course that I took in university, but then going for CFA and studying CFA level 1 and 2 and then 3, they really made a lot of change. And of course, I don't want to, brag about it, but then, CFA, when you get 3 letters next to your name, even when you have not got it, even if when you have passed all 3 levels of the CFA program, that really makes you stand out from other people who are, from potential employers' perspective. And this makes sense also because employers are intelligent people. They are running businesses, they are running companies. They know that, who's got the commitment level, to do all 3 levels of the CFA program. Those people definitely bring something to the table which potential employers look for. And definitely CFA, and if you have CFA next to your name, definitely, that helps a lot from a job employability perspective. So on a personal level, like you really feel fulfilled, you really feel that, you have learned something, but at the same time, it helps your employability big time.
Oh, that's great.
There's no doubt.
So let's take your closing remarks, like Ankur and Usman, that what are your messages, your advices for the people who are listening to you? They are interested in doing CFA. And before that, I think, Khushbu, your internet is now looking very good. So can you please
there is
complete
some
the conversation?
there have been problems today. I don't know what is wrong. I really wanted to interact with the audience, but I couldn't. I have not been able to. Let's see. I don't know what's wrong with the internet, but it has been great. Like knowing all the other different courses and getting insightful information today.
Oh, that's great. So I was asking the question that does CFA make change in the life, or did you feel that before CFA and after CFA there is a difference?
Yes, definitely. So, I mean, CFA definitely helps you grow in your career. I started with the analyst, and then I've come long way to becoming vice president. So, definitely, I was pursuing CFA while I was working as well. So, I highly recommend that when people are, having their practical exposure experience, they should go for CFA so that they can grow in their career, become managerial. I mean, it helps you grow from entry level employee to becoming managerial to leading the company basically. So definitely it's a great learning course.
Amazing. So what is your advice to the newcomer who are listening to you? You are into teaching as well, and there are a lot of professionals who want to take this lead, but they are scared from 3 levels and lot of commitment, families. So what is your advice to them, how they can manage it, what they need to show to?
Yeah, I feel, I mean, definitely it requires a lot of commitment, but it's not something, I mean, that you cannot do. So if you are looking to gain expertise in finance sector, not only finance specifically in learning about the finance industry in various aspects and all, it's a very good course, and everyone should, and people should not be scared of it. It all whatever, I mean, the course has been designed in such a way that I mean, anyone can complete it, become a CFA. All you need is hard work, practice, learn, have that passion to know about finance, have that number crunching, analytical mindset. I think that's all it's required. Otherwise, I mean, I wish everyone, whoever is giving also CFA this year or next year, all the best. But it's really nice to know that a lot of people are now taking initiative to enroll for CFA.
Oh, that's great. So meaning it's really doable. And so what you suggest, like a person who's working 5 days, day and night, they have only 2 days. So how many hours how they should allocate to study?
Based on my personal experience, I was giving CFA while I was working as well. So, it gets a little difficult when you're working because your flow gets disturbed. You're working full day, you get already so exhausted. So, there has been little difficulties, but it's always, I mean, even like Berkeley has such a great to for people who are also working and giving CFA exam, that they take help of these institutes as like prestigious as Berkeley, and their course structure, study material are so interactive that they'll help you clear CFA even while you're working. So.
Oh, that's great. That's quite insightful. Yes, you are right. So let me take the same feedback from Ankur. Ankur, what you feel about these 2 points?
So, if I were to say about whether one should go for CFA or not, again, if you have decided, I would definitely suggest to go for it, because even God forbid, if it doesn't help you in your career, it will definitely help you grow professionally and help you grow personally. So that would be my take, and I would suggest everyone, at least even someone who is from finance industry or non-finance industry, level 1 actually gives you, or level 1 and level 2 actually gives you a lot more detail about how you look at things in general, and that gives you a lot more topics and the insight to talk to anyone. So I think that is a must to go for anyone who is who even wants to know anything about the financial industry.
I would like to add to this point because I couldn't explain you exactly about CFA level 3, but as you all know, that level 3 structure is a little different than level 1 and level 2. So basically, you are being tested in your writing skills as well in level 3. So your strategy towards exam has to be changed a little bit when you are studying for level 3. It needs a lot of practice and a lot of because the structure is different. So when you go and actually sit for exam, people they tend to get nervous because we are not used to writing. It's been almost for the last 2 levels also we've not been giving actually writing it. It's all MCQ and all, so it's we are not in that zone, so it gets a little difficult. So I will suggest to everyone who's appearing for level 3 to practice before. There are a lot of, even CFA Institute, they release past papers as well for everyone to practice. So definitely do that, and it'll really help you in performing well in your exam.
Oh, that's a very good input. Osman, can you take the same?
Sure. I was a bit distracted, so I would like to take the question again, because I had my little one. He was just a bit of
so nice.
nuisance.
I can I can rephrase my question. Before that, I will tell you I have a couple of friends. They are working in banks. So every year they pay the fee. They don't study and they go for exams. Then they fail. So 5 year. One friend has done this 8 years. So and finally he qualified level 1, but after studying only, not like this. So my question was that there are busy people, they are already in banking, but they want to improve themselves, and when they think about CFA 3 levels, so with time management, with family, what is your suggestion that what they can do in order to achieve this?
Well, Dr. Musa, I may not have the prescribed advice for your friends. That's an exceptional case, but yes, I will definitely. Just kidding. This requires really serious commitment. CFA level 1, 2, or 3. None of them is easy. All of them are really hard. This is not to scare people, of course, or not to make ourselves feel good, but this is generally true. Even if you do a bit of Google search, you would know that CFAs. But I think the only key that I have is you really have to commit yourself, and when you commit yourself, you need to carve out your daily routine in such a way that you at least get a few hours every day to studying, to taking your classes, to doing practice questions, reviewing the material that you have reviewed a few weeks back, because there's tons of material. There is a high chance that you will forget most of it in after in class, or maybe 2-3 days after the class. You would feel good about it. Even if you get yourself tested, you score well, but then a few days pass and you forget. So review and practice is absolutely essential to crack any of these levels. And then you need to commit yourself. You need to make your calendar in such a way that you have a certain amount of hours every day, no matter what your other commitments are. You need to spend some time every single day until the exam day. So this is my advice to
So what is your advice, Ankur, on the same situation with high professional who are really looking for it?
Yeah, pretty much same as Usman has said. You need to commit because it requires a lot of practice. It requires a lot of time and commitment. Definitely, you can get help from instructor and all, but at the same time, you have to slog really hard to practice enough so that you can attempt all the questions in the exam, and then you can confidently appear for the exam, because that level of confidence also is required, and that comes only because only after the practice. So again, if it's like you need to give, or you need to spend time, get some time out from your busy schedule, devote some time, or devote a good amount of time for CFA. And only my suggestion would be, only when you are prepared well and feel confident about writing exam, then only you should appear for the exam. Because even if you write the exam, if you're not prepared well, and if you fail, that in a way demotivate you, and then is not good for your confidence for your future examinations as well.
Yeah,
So again,
right. This is a very good technique. Let me take on this. Khushbu, what's your take about these matters? If people are really busy and they want to do, what is the way that they need to do?
It's very specifically, and like all the levels, I would say that it doesn't require commitment for like 16 hours a day or 18 hours a day. So there's nothing to be tense about. Even if you plan early in your strategy, if you strategize it properly in advance, then you can definitely, even if you commit for like few hours, if I would say like 3 to 4 hours a day also, it's good enough. So it's more, it's not something you have to mug up. It's just something you need to understand. So the better and the faster you can understand, the easier it is for you. So it all depends on individual capabilities, and you have to actually assess on your personal basis, that what's your take on this. So yes, I would say that nothing to be scared of. Just keep practicing, learning.
Oh yeah,
and
right.
you're good to
I
go.
think all three of you have given the lot of thoughts which a listener might be getting a lot of points out of it, because it's really customized. Some people sharp learners, some are slow learner. So one, it's very important to know what you are, what are your skills. Are you good at quant? You are good in theory part. So based on your characteristics, your type of personality, and even the stress level is also very important. That can you take the stress, or sometimes you are very tricky also. You are not well prepared, but you have tricked the examiner. You pick up those areas which was heavy, which was more in weightage. So it's not that you have read all the book and then you pass. I can give you an example. For in level 1, this study session 3, for example, quantitative method. A lot of people don't even at all they study. I mean, this I'm telling you, maybe 5-7 years. I'm telling you, actually 10 years before, but still, like study session 3, we used to leave. So still, students get passed from study session 2, which was a time value of money concept in that. So such kind of tricks where people are feeling difficult about T-testing, P-testing, chi-square, and they completely lost. So it's better that they leave. They are good maybe in accounting, they are good in portfolio, but they are bad in economics. Some are bad in quantitative. So it's like knowing yourself, and Khushbu, you are perfectly right that everything is doable. It's just you have to know yourself. It's not a rocket science. Everyone can do. Just commit yourself. If you invest in you and invest in the exams. And Usman, you are perfectly right that without practice, we cannot get anything in the life, and same for the exam. So I want to close the session now. So please, one by one, we'll take your closing remarks for the upcoming people, and then we'll move to the next part.
Okay, I'll give it a shot first. So again, based on my experience with CFA and going through with the entire journey of CFA curriculum, I would advise everyone to go for it. You may need to devote more time as against or as compared to the other certificates, but it will definitely help you a long way in your career as well as in your professional growth. So that would be my advice or my learning from CFA program.
That's great. Let's move to Usman, please.
Well, I think Ankur has said what I wanted to say, but I would just add my 2 cents to it. I would advise anybody who is interested in financial markets and investment industry, even if they are not fully into investment profession per se. I think giving level 1 a shot is definitely worth the effort and worth the time. It gives you so much insight about how the financial markets work and how the investment industry works. And I mean, in this day and age, everything is connected. Even if you're working in audit, accounts, or whatever profession you are in, even people who are in engineering or other professions, which are in even business development, and when they get to study, they get to know the concepts from a more technical. They get much deeper sense and understanding of those products that they are trying to sell. So I think everyone who is any link with financial markets, they should at least give a shot to CFA level 1. This will broaden their understanding and perspective of great deal.
Superb advice. So let's take the same from Khushbu.
Thank you. So I would say that CFA is overall, it's a widely recognized and the most prestigious finance certification you can go for. And if you're looking to grow in your career, definitely go for CFA. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to Berkeleyme, Dr. Musa, me, Usman, Ankur. We'll be here to help you out in your journey to become CFA. And all the best to all the CFA candidates and all the candidates who are watching today. And thank you so much, Dr. Musa, for today's session.
Thank you, Khushbu, for your lovely conversation and tips. And you are a great asset to Berkeley, and a great value to the profession. And I'm really thankful that because of this even distortion, you keep motivated yourself, and you're still able to join, and this is so great of you, and I'm looking forward to have you in other shows onwards.
Same here. Thank you, Dr. Musa.